Hey fitness family, are you the kind of person who works at a computer all day? Well, think about this. If I'm doing this all day, what happens is my elbow flexors, the muscles that flex my elbow, like my bicep, my brachioradialis, my brachialis, they get really tight. And also I'm repetitively doing actions with my fingers. My digital flexors are getting overused down here. They get really tight. When they get really tight, I kind of will move around like this. And this does not look comfortable for my shoulders and my neck. I should be able to be here. Also, your elbow should be able to hang straight. If it hangs like that, that means you have too much tension on this side of your arm. I noticed I'm getting a farmer's tan. But what we're gonna do is, this is what you should do after you did a long day on the computer and you're feeling actually tension in your neck. It's not coming from just your neck, it's coming from your hands, up your forearms, up your biceps, up the interior of your shoulder, up your neck. And this is a good way to get rid of it. So what we're gonna do to start off is, I'm gonna have you put your knees down. I'm gonna have you flip your hands over this way as far as you can. If this is what you can do, it's all good. But the goal is to get all the way here. And then you wanna watch from the side. When I keep the heel of my palm down and I lean back, I'm gonna get a tremendous stretch in my digital flexors. And I've been a bad boy. I need to do more of my mobility, but I can feel in my left hand a tremendous pull compared to the right, and I can feel it suppressing the blood flow to the nerves in that hand, so that hand is tingling. But again, that's not a problem, because as soon as I'm done, I'm gonna get more blood flow. So we all good, fam, or whatever people say. So I'm gonna rock back like 20 times. I wanna do it really slowly. I'm trying to get a bigger and bigger angle if I can. And always, as always when we're doing mobility, you wanna breathe really slowly. We're trying to stimulate the rest and digest, the parasympathetic nervous system. When we exercise, we'll go fight or flight, but not right now. Okay, so that lengthened my digital flexors and my wrist flexors. So when you're on a computer or when you're using a mouse, your wrist is usually in flexion the whole time. So this side gets really tight. That side gets used too, but you're just cupping it. So this entire area gets pretty tight. So what we're gonna do next is now stretch some elbow flexors. We're gonna also stretch the digital extensors and the wrist extensors here. So what I'm gonna have you do is, I'm gonna have you spread out your hands as far as you can. So don't hold your hand like this, spread it as far as possible. You wanna keep your hands relatively close to your knees, especially if you don't have sick wrist and shoulder mobility. The further I move my knees away, the more mobility it actually requires. So it's just easier to start here. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna lower my chest slowly, keeping my fingers and all my hands in contact with the ground. My elbows go out. And then I'm gonna exhale, lock my elbows, and turn them all the way forward. When I turn them forward, I'm gonna get a tremendous stretch. So that's what we're gonna work on. And you want to see the speed I'm doing? It would be ideal to stay at this slow speed, especially if anything's too tight. I don't want to find out by tearing it. Alright, cool. So now that we did that, I opened up my wrist. I started to open up my elbow. So now I'm going to show you how to open up your shoulder. So this move's called a windmill, and there's a couple rules. We're going to do both sides. And I want you to lay on your side in a like a fetal position, and then I have a couple rules here. This arm is going to be a pillow for my head. If I don't use that arm as a pillow, I'm going to compress this side of my neck. The other thing is I have to use this side of my neck if I hold my head up to support my head the whole time. So it's easier if I just use my arm as a pillow. So my top arm, I have to keep in contact with the floor. I want to keep my fingertips on it the whole time. I also want to keep this knee on the floor. You can break the rule of keeping the knee on the floor to maintain the rule of keeping your hand on the floor. So we're going to do this really slowly. We're going to do 10 reps and then switch sides. So I want you taking a deep breath. And your hand is going to trace the floor until it gets over your head. Once it gets over your head, you're going to turn your hand over and you're going to continue to reach through. And you'll see my knee is staying down. See how my elbow is starting to bend? I'm a little tight. I'm trying to reach my arm away from my body to give it a better pull. Sorry about that, team. So I want to make sure my elbow doesn't bend to maintain contact with the floor. I want to keep it up. Because I'm feeling a little tight, I'm going to let this knee come up so I can keep my arm straight. And then I'm going to keep going. I'm going to see what's under the couch. Oh, nothing right now. That's great. That's what you want. I'm going to get down towards my butt here. Now I'm actually reaching my fingers in that direction. That's activating my back. So your lats might cramp when that happens, and that's fine. I'm not lifting this leg up more. I'm only keeping it up as much as I need to maintain contact with the floor. So again, we're going to do this 10 times nice and slow. Today, on this Mobility Monday, this is all stretching and activating. We didn't do any rolling. If you like rolling and you want to do more rolling, leave a comment. Also too, if you like the Mobility Mondays, subscribe so we keep doing them. Okay, so my knee's lifting off a little bit. And now I'm going to start to leave this knee down a little more. And it's going to push the intensity of the stretch in the anterior of my shoulder. So it's still coming up a little bit, but not as much. And like I said, we didn't release today. If I released my pec has scar tissue in it. That scar tissue, I could break it down, and then the underlying healthy tissue would stretch. But for today, we're just going to unwind muscles. And turns over at the head. Trying to maintain a straight arm here. Also too, when I'm doing my left arm, when I get to 130, if my head is midnight, that's where I get the deepest pull. So that's where I want you to hang out. And it'll be the opposite on the other side. So let's switch sides. Butt spin. Alright. So same rules. I'm going to support my head. I'm throwing this leg over top. If it can stay on the ground, that'd be rad. Fingers on the floor. And Rihanna once said to put 5 fingers on it. She was talking about the floor during your windmills. Turn your palm all the way over. See that elbow's buckling because my biceps tight. Oh man, this side's so much tighter. I'm gonna have to lift up my my knee, otherwise I won't be able to maintain contact with the floor as I keep going. I'm getting a huge pull here. So for my right arm, if my head is midnight, when I'm at 10:30, I'm getting the deepest stretch because my pec is in a huge stretch. So I'm actually gonna bask in this for a while, even though this is really uncomfortable, because I'm gonna get more benefit from this. So one of the things I can do, I'm not holding my right leg up, it's just up right now from the tension. I'm gonna take in a deep breath from my belly. And when I exhale, I'm gonna see if I could just relax and let my leg fall down. It doesn't have that much room to go. I'll go again. And then I can continue with the windmill. And to be totally honest, my pecs are really tight. It would have been smarter to release them beforehand, but that's not what I planned on here. So I'll show you on the next video how to release your pecs, because it's important. So we're going to do a couple more reps, and then we're going to do an activator for your neck. We're going to call it a day. And this would be a great way to keep going. Just watch me for a second. There's something called upper cross syndrome, and it's this, and now they call it text neck. Basically, what we're doing right now will reverse that, because it's stretching out the muscles in the front that are too tight, and it's activating all the muscles in the back that were turned off all day. So it's a smart move. So now we'll go for neck. For the neck, I want you to put your hands behind you, pull your shoulder blades back, and I'm gonna pull my right ear to my right shoulder slowly. And then I'm gonna pull my left ear to my left shoulder slowly. And I can tell I'm way tighter. The right side of my neck is tighter, so it's harder for me to go to the left, because the right would have to stretch. See here, I can almost touch my ear to my shoulder. I'm getting closer. The reason I want you to put your hands on the ground is because otherwise, when I go there, this one can just lift up and it makes it way easier. If I'm pressing down into the ground, it activates my back, and then my scapular elevators, all my neck muscles, they have to relax as much as they can relax. So we did that to either side. And now last thing, this is going to be really uncomfortable. This is going to sound weird because it's going to compress my vocal cords, but I'm going to tuck my chin down to my chest, to my sternum. And then I'm going to trace my chest until I get to my shoulder with my chin. Then I'm going to look up at the corner of the room, and then I'm going to slowly try to look behind myself until I get to the other corner of the room. Once I get to that corner, I'm going to try to get my chin down to my shoulder, and then I'm going to trace my chin back to the middle. And then we'll reverse. So corner, corner, chin on shoulder, chin to sternum, reverse. And I don't know if you have ever seen the Bigfoot video, but the way you can tell a human from an ape, like by body languages, apes can't do this. They have to do this. And if you let your neck really get tight, you're just like a pink, bald, weak ape. Yeah. But yeah, so we can do all of these neck rotations, and it really softens up your neck. If you have a lot of scar tissue in your neck, or you have tension from your legs working up to your neck, it might not feel all the way better, and then we should address those, and you should check out those videos, and you should leave comments on like what felt good, what did not, what you liked, what you didn't, because there's a lot in here, but you got to tell me what you want. I'll see you next time, next Monday, for Mobility Monday with Joel. Have a good one.